you're an Israelite. Prove you're an Israelite. I don't believe it. I don't believe you're an Israelite. Prove you are an Israelite. Wow, really? I have to prove that I am an Israelite to you? Why? For what? What reason do I have to prove that I am an Israelite to you? And understand every word that I said. What reason? Just one. That I have. That it is a must that I prove that I'm an Israelite to you or anyone else. What reason do I have to prove that I am married or divorced to you? What reason do I have to prove that I am black, even with my light skin, hazel eyes, and red hair? What reason do I have to prove that to you? Why? For what? What makes me obliged to have to prove anything to you? Or you, or you, or any and everybody else? Can I start getting some answers? The title here is Prove You're an Israelite or Shut Up. Recap. That's what this is. This is a recap to prove that you're an Israelite or shut up, okay? Well, I have proven that I am an Israelite 30 years ago, all right? And I've proven it to the entire world that I am an Israelite. You did. So I don't have to prove it again and again and again to everybody else in the goddamn world who feels that they are in some type of dissension or got some type of, they feel cognitive dissonance, you understand, when I tell them what I am, who I am, what I do, and why I do it, okay? But to prove something of that magnitude is a very easy thing to do, you know? So what I am going to do is demonstrate to you how I have proven it, okay? The proof, okay? I'm going to demonstrate that to you, okay? And where you can find that evidence and that proof, okay? And that demonstration, okay, it's already been done, all right? That's whether you accept the proof or not. Because one thing you will find is that your acceptance and your belief or disbelief or your non-acceptance is nowhere a part of the definition of proof, proven, or to prove. And the brothers who are asking you to prove that you're an Israelite, the brother that's asking you to prove that you're an Israelite doesn't understand that they're asking you something that is very easy and simple to do, although they think that it is impossible. You know, I mean, either some people just think that some people are just straight stupid. You understand what I'm saying? You're actually lowering the bar when you ask me or anybody who's educated and know that are in the know. It is very easy to answer that question because you've lowered the bar by asking that type of question. And the question is such a lowering of the bar type of question that it makes me question, do you people understand what the word proof, proven, what it means? Just in case you don't, let us get off into this. To prove, the Oxford Language Dictionary, to demonstrate the truth or existence of something by evidence or argument. Well, one thing is for certain is that the brothers has been demonstrating the truth by argument for decades. They have been proving it over and over. It's almost like these niggas say, "Okay, now prove yourself." Like you up under their spell and command and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, and it's really silly because if you follow me, then you wouldn't ask me to do no shit like that. You know, if you follow me, if you listen to me, because that my whole demonstration is about the proving and the evidence and the demonstration, okay, of the truth. All right. Number two, to demonstrate to be the specified thing by evidence or argument. Man, I do this by evidence and argument. Give you a double whammy. Just so you can gaslight me and say it's good enough when it's actually very sufficient. All right? That's why I don't play games with silly people. Okay? Merriam-Webster. Okay? I don't have to do what you say do to prove anything. Proved, proven, proving. Okay? Prove, a verb. To establish the existence, truth, or validity of, as by evidence or logic. The people who are asking me to prove myself to them as by evidence or logic, if I was to ask them what is a syllogism, which is the basic key construct of logic, they would not be able, which is a principle in logic. You can't have logic without principles. All right? If I was to ask you what is a syllogism, you would not be able to tell me what it is. If I was to ask you what is modus tollens, you could not tell me what that is. If I was to ask you what is modus ponens, you could not tell me what that is. And if I was to ask you what is the difference between the two, you could not tell me what that is. But you'd have the nerve to ask me to establish the existence, truth, or validity of as by evidence or logic. Somebody make sense out of that to me. All right? To demonstrate as having a particular quality or worth. I can do all of these things very easily. To show oneself to be worthy or capable, anemu dabrit ibriya, halashon hakadesh. To testify the truth, validity, or genuineness of. Well, you can test it, and I'll pass the test with flying colors. To test the worth or quality of. Specifically, to compare against a standard. If you compared me against the Hebrew standard, you'd see that I am worthy and quality. And even I am the mold. You'll find that. Sometimes used with up or out. To check the correctness of. And we can do that, you see? And I'll win hands down every time. So, before you ask someone, to turn out, especially after trial or test, okay? Before you ask someone to prove anything, you should understand that all you're asking one to do is to demonstrate, all right? To establish and demonstrate, okay, the existence or the truth or the validity of a thing by evidence or logic. That's all it is, okay? All it is just showing one to be worthy or capable. Just being capable of being an Israelite. And we've done these things, all of these things over and over and over again. I'm going to take you where I have proven that I am an Israelite over and over and over again. All right. You push this YouTube button right here, right? And you push this name up right here. You look for Yasha Ben Yisrael channel. Okay? You push this button here called videos, right? And in these videos, I have demonstrated, I have established my truth through demonstration over and over again. This is the evidence right here on this page. Constant argument, constant evidence over and over again. I have talked to the biggest dissenters, and none of them have disproven my claim. None of them really want to debate me. You see? The evidence. We're talking about the Hebrew language, and we're talking about the history of the African Israelites that we descend from, that are still in Africa to this day, that still claim that lineage. Okay? All these videos are arguments, me establishing my truths through argument, with evidence. Look at this. With evidence. All of this here is the evidence. When you first come down here, right here, the Egyptian, Canaanite, Israelite, Berbers, ancestors of the African American. This is the evidence, people. And I'm arguing the evidence. Okay? On my page, you have every scholar from John Henry Clark, Yosef Ben Yochanan, and others claiming we're Israel. My genetic paperwork, all here, people. This is my genetic paperwork.
Yo, I'm up here cleaning out this old attic, and I got found one of my DNA results that I had taken
over and over again.
Back. It's page 1.
From genetics, from history to linguistics. The guys don't want to talk about genetics because they're not qualified. Not to talk to me. I don't care how much science you think you know. You're not qualified to talk about genetics with me. When I've been taking this test over 20 years old, man. I've been knowing about this stuff when the E1B1A and E1B1B was all one big damn a haplogroup called the EB3. Y'all know so goddamn much about genetics. How long ago was that? When the E branches was all one lump called the EB3 group. How long a fucking ago was that? Because you don't fucking know. You'd have to have been there to have known. And all the research in the world, I don't believe you niggas will find that out. Not no time motherfucker soon. You'd have to ask a geneticist. Or ask me. I have proven over and over and over. Sometimes asking these type of questions, asking a grown-ass man these type of questions is asking a little too much of his fucking business. All right? As you can see that, this is my Michigan State ID. The government knows and validate who the fuck I am. Yasha Hamalaki ben Yisrael. An Israelite. Okay? I just established the existence, the truth, and the validity with documented evidence. Okay? I mean, I don't know what more I can give you. You know what I mean? And logic. I've did all of these things, over the years. To demonstrate as having a particular quality of worth. I just done that, in a way that was very, very quick and easy. I've showed myself to be worthy or capable, okay? You tested me, and the test has proven to be true. It has proven to be valid. It has been proven to be genuine with government documents, with genetic testing, with historical and family tradition and records. For my maternal family is the Gober, Gober family. And that's Jewish, all right? To test the worth or quality of, specifically to compare against a standard, You compared me against the standard, and I passed the test. In fact, with flying colors, because most Jews can't even prove that they are Jews. With no documents, not no valid documents, okay? My identification identify me as an Israelite. You can check the correctness of it. And it's authentic, okay? Now, the guys over there at the HOK, they have a real bad habit, you know what I'm saying, of holding people to these high-ass standards that is only above them. You know, that they can't meet. They're the only ones that can't meet these standards. You understand? I asked, Black Jesus Minister, you know what I'm saying, to prove that you are Black Jesus Minister. And prove that you have the power and the authority to be Black Jesus Minister by some authority. Let it be a government, a church, a cult, about some authority, all right? And I say the same with Sinetta. Prove that you're a Sinetta. Prove that you're a Kemet. Prove it. Prove that you have a drop of Kemetic blood. Prove that that your Kemetic belief system is that of the ancient Kemetians of 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 years ago. These are the things that you need to be proven. And because you guys have not proven these things, this is the reason why your particular mission have not taken off. My mission has taken off because I am an Israelite pioneer. I just showed you evidence of me taking a DNA test 25 years ago. All right? That's pioneering. I'm speaking Hebrew, teaching Hebrew when these niggas don't even do that. That's pioneering. I'm one of the ones who start introducing real history to the Bible. That's pioneering. Many of you people follow my methods today and look me in the face and don't even know it. Because I'm a real pioneer. Also, I'm such a pioneer to where I've known and met everyone in the movement from Elder Boy to Ben Ami, the Prince Aziel, to the ISUPK cats, Cesare Agnew. You know, we done had our little mingles and shit and falling out and all that shit. And then we done had, Nate, and I done mopped him up in person right here in Detroit. You know, I done met all of them. In your conscious movement, your Ashwa Kwazis, your Imam Isa Malachi Yorks, your Dr. Benz. I have a video on YouTube right now where Dr. Ben is talking about my clique and how one of my homies challenged him and he didn't like it. All right? A brother by the name of Benny White Ethiopia. All right? I was there when he did it. All right? Dr. Clark. Stokely Carmichael. Steve Coakley. Chokwe Lumumba. Dr. Adam Shakur. Rosa Parks. In fact, the guy who insulted Dr. Ben and challenged him was friends of Rosa Parks and introduced me to her. Adam Shakur was my teacher, man. in college. I had several courses up under Dr. Adam Shakur, who is the law partner of Chokwe Lumumba, and who is the lawyer and judge and the owner of the estate of the great Rosa Parks. And he also is my residential brother and friend of Detroit, Michigan. He was the first black head of the 36th District Court, and the longest held reign. All right? Understand who y'all dealing with, all right? I'm just going to, we doing this, the rights reserved for critiquing purposes and educational and entertainment purposes. That's why I'm using this video. Big ups to Sinetta, no beat, homie. This is what we here for. We here to give the correct information. You know what I'm saying? I was sleeping, y'all called. Boy, I wish I was woke. But I want to get to something that you said in here. Well, since I was asleep when they called, you understand? Let's get on into this here. Because I do have a life. I don't sit around and wait to be on social media all goddamn day. I get on social media as my entertainment, you know what I'm saying, at my discretion, not as a call because social media ain't paying me and taking care of me. I have a fucking life to live, all right? So let's mosey on over there to Sinetta Street. Let's creep on over to Sinetta Block and see what old Sinetta talking about today.
JJ 7000, the imposter, will not call in. None of the top Israelites will call in because they would not be able to prove it. So with me and Black Jesus...
No. I gotta stop that. Stop that, Sinetta. Stop it, man. Stop it. Hold it. All right? I'm able to prove all things, brother. You see this? That's George. That's Jonathan Taylor. JJ. These brothers called me and, hey, man, I'm asleep, brother. This is nighttime, brother. Y'all got to make an appointment to be sure to get me, brother. Just that Johnny on the spot type shit don't really work with me because I got other things to do, brother. I got a life to live. Now let's deal back with the buffoonery here, this silliness. He said there won't no Israelite be able to prove, okay.
This minister will have to do is do a drive-by. I will have to call the brothers, and if they watching, they will be hiding under the bed or they might not pick up the phone, but
I wouldn't watch.
Black Jesus Minister is on it, and so is your brother. So is your brother. Y'all remember these scriptures right here, right? Let me show you this.
You're not on it because if you was on it, you would have gotten in contact with me in advance, like you did when you put me in the hot seat. Even though that was some Johnny on the spot shit, it wasn't no right now rah-rah shit. No ambush shit. You did. All right? And because I don't have time for that, man. I have a full life, man, and I need to be respected. I not as just some nigga who ain't got nothing to do, who just sitting around with his thumb in his ass on fucking social media all day. All right? Okay. Let's listen to see what he talking about.
I don't think any of them could answer this right here. None of them could answer this.
I don't think. Those three words. I don't think. Just because you don't think, Sinetta, don't mean that it is so. Or don't mean that it ain't so. I'm saying that you not thinking means ain't nothing so. Because ain't nothing fucking working. You have to start thinking, Sinetta. I'm going to answer this for you, Sanetta. All right? So you can start thinking again, my brother. That's the problem with you niggas over there. Y'all don't fucking think. You need to start thinking. I'm going to show you how to think. Think this Israelite can do it because I'm fixing to fucking do it, brother. I don't know what your silly, goofy question was, but I'm going to explain to you what this is. And after explaining to you the depths of this, leaving no stone unturned, this is what this means. And all court, you know, and that's just what it is, okay? It says in Leviticus 21, 17 through 24, it says, say to Aaron, for the generations to come, none of your descendants, okay? Whose descendants? Aaron's descendants. And this to tell Aaron's descendants, for the generations to come, that none of your descendants, Aaron, who has a defect, may come near to offer the food of his God. Now, who is he talking about here? He's talking about the descendants of Aaron. Not all the Israelites in the world, not all the people in the world. We're talking about the descendants of Aaron, the priest. And the Lord is saying to Aaron, okay? He's saying this to Aaron about his descendants. He said, none of them that has a defect may come near to offer the food of his God. No man who has had any defect may come near. Okay? Now, this is talking about all the people. No man who is blind or lame or disfigured or deformed. No man with a crippled hand or foot, who is hunchback or dwarf, or who has an eye defect, or who has festered or running sores or damaged testicles. No descendant of Aaron, the priest, who has any defect is to come near the presence of the food offerings to the Lord. He has a defect. He must not come near to offer the food of the God. He may eat the most holy food of his God, as well as the holy food. Yet because of his defects, he must not go near the curtain or approach the altar and so desecrate my sanctuary. I am the Lord who makes them holy. So Moses told this to Aaron and his sons and to all the Israelites. So when you read this, to ask a question is really, really, really silly because you obviously didn't read it. And if you did read it, you didn't understand it. Because everything that you need to know is in the fucking paragraph.
Check it. I want y'all to look at it right quick. None of them can answer this question. Look at it. Leviticus 21, 17 to 24. You can read it. You see it? All right? Say to Aaron, for the generation to come, none of your descendants who are defect may come near or offer the food of his God. See, if they are defected, disfigured, or deformed, or crippled foot, or hand, hunchback. That's hunchback nigga that was on my show the other day. He's a hunchback nigga. He got a hunchback, so he can't get on it. He can't even come in. And guess who gave him the hunchback? His God.
He can't come in where? He can't come in where? What is it that you're saying that he can't do? He can't come in where?
And then it says, even the dwarf, or damaged testicles. Wow. Damaged testicles. No descendants of Aaron, the priest, who has any defect, is to come near to present the food offering to the Lord. He has a defect. He must not come near to offer the food of his God. He may eat the most holy food of his God. Now, when you look at this, brothers and sisters.
Yeah, when we look at this, let's look at it.
And no Hebrews can get around it. None of them can get around this right here. Hold on.
We're not supposed to get around it. What are we supposed to get around? We're not supposed to get around the scripture. We're supposed to take the scripture as is, and I do. I take it as is. I don't have a problem with the scripture. The problem is you have a problem with the scripture. And because you have a problem with the scripture, you want the world to have
All right, I'm back.
with the scripture.
When you really look at this and examine these scriptures, none of them, they can answer it. But what happens is they always try to answer it in the defense of God, of their most high God, because they know that it is bull squat. I'm trying to be nice. I don't want to say the other word. Bull squat. They know that it is. And so they will say, no, brothers, you got to understand, the Most High God didn't do that. And then when you hit them with the other scripture and say, well, how do you answer this? And then in the book of Exodus 4 and 11, it says, and the Lord said unto him, who has made man's mouth, or who maketh the dumb, or deaf, or the seeing, or the blind? Have not I the Lord? So right there, he's telling you the Lord, I do all these things, y'all. And they still would try to get around it, even though I would bring them the DNA of the scriptures. You know what the apostle would say? Well, son, that you don't really understand the scriptures, brother. And what it's saying this and it's saying that. And they will make every goddamn excuse they can.
Excuse for
no, man, it ain't the Most High that does these things. And then I hit them with this scripture right here to top it off. All right, that's coming out kind of small. Let me get rid of that one. Let me get rid of that one and make it bigger for you. All right, let me get it. Boy, oh boy, I tell you, man.
Now,
I'll tell you.
the problem with that last scripture there, he was talking about, I ordained thee before you was born, I knew thee. That was not saying that God knew everybody before they was born. He was just saying that particular to Jeremiah. And he said, how do we know this? Because God hasn't made everybody a prophet before the world or the nations. He made Jeremiah one, though. So he was talking specifically to Jeremiah. For you to conflate that to mean that was supposed to be taken for everybody and to be directed to and for everybody, that's ignorant, man. And it violates the rules of grammar. You know what I'm saying? It's like a lapse of fucking intelligence.
Yeah. Get this up here. And then I top it off with the last scripture for them. All I need is 3 scriptures to prove my point.
Well, what is your point?
Why is this one so little? What the hell happened? What the hell happened to this?
Yahweh.
All right, well, you know what it is. Jeremiah 1 and 5, it says, before I formed thee in the belly,
right.
I knew thee. I'm going to say that again. Before I formed thee in the belly, all right, the Most High,
belly.
He forms you in the belly.
No,
how many times
Jeremiah.
we hear people say, well, you know, I'm the creation of God. God created me. God made me. And so now when you come to this part, now all of a sudden God ain't got nothing to do with you now? You feel me? You see what I'm talking about?
No, you don't, because
before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before I coming forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee. So right there is letting you know that your God of the Bible, He did all these things.
But
he did all these things, brothers and sisters.
Not
and so they can't get out of that. And so let me see.
Trying to say he did that too.
While I'm waiting on Black Jesus Minister, let me have some fun here. Let me see here.
What is the question?
Let me do a drive-by.
See what I'm saying? He couldn't even form a fucking question. What is the question that you were going to form? What were you trying to allude to? God did what? God made the humpback man and didn't want the humpback or the people with fucked up nuts or whatever. Come on, bro. In His sanctuary, God. It ain't no defense for God. God is God, bro. The law is the law. And you either follow the motherfucker or you don't. Apparently, you want to be one of those who don't. Just because you don't want to follow the law don't make God wrong. Don't make Him bad. Don't make Him wicked. The reality is that the establishment has been established, and it's been established for thousands of years. And for you to be the new nigga on the scene coming up with a new issue, you the one that's out of fucking pocket, bro.
On one of these.
Especially when you can't read. You dig? Obviously you can't read because every time that you say these things mean these things, none of this, anybody can read the damn text like I did the other day and come to find out that none of this stuff is meaning what you're saying it means. And that's all people got to do is focus on that. Read the fucking text and see what the text means and contrast that to the shit that this man kind of trying to say. He's not no fucking biblical scholar. He just picked up the book last fucking week. And y'all let him baffle y'all around like that. That shit's silly. You know what I'm saying? All that shit's silly. You know, I wish y'all would have had me on that show. And I can't wait till y'all try to drill me with that silly, dumb, ignorant shit, bro. George wouldn't have caught me if he didn't think that I was capable of busting y'all motherfucking ass. Boy, understand that.